I think obviously coming into the match, we knew it'd be a very, very challenging task for us. Sundowns are obviously the benchmark in South African football and also one of the best teams on the continent. Having gone unbeaten 31 games, obviously they were going to be up for the task to break the record. And we are depleted. Three of our starting defenders are either injured or suspended, and then obviously Jaden Adams, a key player, also suspended after the Prize game, and then Ikram Rain is injured. So, when you have that many players not available, positive side, it gives others an opportunity. To see players like Carl Jurgens, still very much part of our GDC team and first team, and also Simanda, who recently played there, get 2 games against Pirates and Sundowns. Apply themselves, so it's good for their sort of development and growth, but it doesn't make our task easier. So I thought we started the game, well. I thought we played the conditions decently. We denied them sort of opportunities to score goals in the first half, in terms of they weren't really getting in behind like they normally do, and getting into the box and creating big chances. So I thought we really done well. And then obviously to get the lead, I felt it might be one of those days where we can get something from it. But then we really played well against them to make sure an open play, we don't allow them the spaces that they, the way they play and the way they build up and try and find their 2-10s, and then from there, they look to get forward. I thought we've done that really well. To then concede from a set piece, that's just not really what we want. You work so hard on the open play to deny them, and then we concede from the corner, and then the free kick. I warned the players, it's just don't give silly free kicks around the box. They're probably one of the best free kick takers in the country, in Madiba. Obviously with the wind and the rain and the conditions, he took his goal well. 2-1, and then you're sort of playing the second half. We're not really asking too many questions, and they're not really either looking like they're going to extend it until the last 15-20 minutes, when we sort of had to make some changes, try different things, try freshen things up, and then bringing on some very inexperienced players, and Tulani Mini, Salifu Koli, and Mervin Boji, trying to press, trying to get something from the game. And then obviously we look vulnerable on transition, but that's the risk that you got to take to try and get back in the game. Maybe a point at 2-2, you take that, but in doing that, you're chasing the game, and then obviously we got then hurt with the third goal, and then that's game over. So in terms of application, in terms of commitment, I can't fault the effort once again. But yeah, we just need to regroup, get back to Cape Town. It's been tough 2 encounters. Get back, regroup, re-energize. Injured players hopefully will be back by the next match. Suspensions are over now, because we've got a very big, important league game against Galaxy at home. And I think the Q2, the next 7 matches up until halfway in the season, is going to be defining for us. It is games that we have to make sure that we're getting maximum points as often as we can.
Thank you, Coach.
Coach Clifton Mawasa, Lim Sports Zone. Coach, I just want to find out, you lost many key players lately, but the team still looks so stable. What is it that's being done? Maybe by the technical team, or maybe from the management, that makes the team still looks the same, even though you lost many key players?
Yeah, look, I think we pride ourselves in our trust in our young players. We take pride in the processes that we put in place. I can guarantee you that our lock position is not showing our true performances over the first 8 matches. So, that's what we look at. We look at performances, and we know that we are not far from just turning the corner and going on a really good run. But yeah, it is faith in management, in technical staff and players, trusting in what we're doing, understanding where we are as a club, understanding we've had some major losses to the team, understanding that there was quite a big turnaround of players. You know, people talk about Medieta and recently Mtetwa, but you know, there's also a way to Makanya, a really top up-and-coming youngster. Ibrahim Jabbar, really good quality up-and-coming youngster. Tom Komazulu, Vusu Sibia. So, you know, there has been that turnaround of players, and we know that it just doesn't happen overnight, that you just get up and running. But in saying all of that, we've put in some really good performances this season, 2 wins against Pirates. Although we lost to Chiefs, I thought we were really good on the day, beating SuperSport to get into the semi-final of the Cup, a really good performance away to Royal AM. So in sprinkled between the losses, we've had some really good performances. So it's about focusing on that and just regrouping and, you know, just getting our key players back and available.
Coach Maskep of Power FM, in your opening statements when you were talking about Sundowns, you just talked about how they would come at you and how you would counter them, and I think it's evident also in the goal that you've scored. Even in the last season when you scored against them, it was mostly from counter-press situations. But my interest is mainly on what's your plan when you've got the ball? What did you want to do when you had the ball or when you had possession? What was the plan?
Yeah, look, I think it's quite, you know, obvious. Sundowns are a team that, you know, in our last 5 encounters, we won 2, drawn 2, and only lost 1 in 5. You know, it's pretty much a little bit after tonight. It's 6, 2 wins, 2 losses, and 2 draws. So we've shown that we are capable of taking on a team like Sundowns and beating them. The key is obviously, you know, normally when we play them, we can cause them problems on transition. You know, but when a player like Ikram is not available, it does sort of hamper you. And we also know that, you know, in my opinion, they're very experienced, well organized, but there is opportunity to hurt them in behind. So if you are able to, you know, get 1 or 2 passes together and suck their sort of defenders a little bit out of shape and position, there is space to attack in behind them. So that was the plan. Obviously, we had also planned quite sort of well against what we thought would be the starting lineup, but they made some, you know, major changes to the squad. So we had to adjust ourselves. But yeah, the plan is obviously to defend well, catch them on transition. When we have the ball, to be brave and courageous, move the ball around, pass it around, you know, stretch them around. You know, they're not the quickest back four players, so the idea is to try and sort of turn it. But now when the weather comes and it's as wet as it is, any ball in behind is also just, you know, skidding out. So it also made it a little bit difficult. So we ended up playing a lot longer balls, long throw-ins, you know, trying to play forward, which is not the way we really want to, but we had to adapt to the conditions. And I thought we were causing them a little bit of distress with that type of play. But to answer your question, was to defend well in the ball, move them around, try and create spaces in behind the defenders, turn the defenders, you know, and try and ask them those type of questions.
We'll take the last 2 questions.
Yes, Coach Ennis from Kickoff. Coach, looking at the way Sundowns are playing, do you believe that the league is gone, or the other teams are still going to catch up with them?
Yeah, I don't really want to comment on that. I think you know, we're all aware that, you know, they started, is it the 7th or 8th win in a row now? 7?
8.
It was the 8th. So you know, once you're already in that position and the quality of squad that you have, it becomes very difficult for other teams. But it is a long way to go. You know, the Sundowns have got other competitions that they will be involved with. But fortunately for them, they've got enough depth to, you could see this evening, you know, they're able to make 6, 7 changes of starting players. I believe there was a couple on 3 yellows, so they didn't want to miss them because the next match locally would be against Pirates in the final. And again, on the weekend, you know, they got a 4-0 lead. So again, you know, they've got enough players in the squad to rotate and still be strong. So it'll be a tough nut to crack. And you know, credit must go to them for the continuous domination of South African football.
New hands.
Coach, I understand Darren Matsek has been training with the team lately. How is the progress now?
Yeah, no, we are going to look at him. We want to assess where he's at. So it's been difficult because he's only joined us once we're here in Gauteng, so we didn't go back to Cape Town after the Pirates game. So obviously Monday was a light session because of the match on Sunday. Yesterday was a light session because of the match today. So he'll travel back with the squad tomorrow, and we'll give him an opportunity. So we a little bit I've seen in the last 2 days. I've been suitably impressed. But yeah, we'll give him a good assessment and we'll take it from there.
And coach, are you able to take the last one?
Yes, I am.
Yes. Coach, I wanted to ask about this 32 matches unbeaten for Sundowns. And I know you can't speak for others, but for a team to do this, what does it take? And do you feel there was maybe a time, maybe in the season or in this run where it could have been broken, where maybe an opportunity was missed?
Yeah, look, I think obviously it takes a club that's got that mentality, winning mentality that they have. So everything that they do is about that and breaking records. So, obviously, first and foremost, they have the quality. And they have the quality and depth, so it's not by accident that that has happened. I think even by their own admittance, maybe I'm also speaking out of turn, they've always been at their best. I mean, there's times where it looked a little bit vulnerable, but what the Sundowns have learned to do is they've learned how to win even when not playing at their best. They manage games very well. At times they're leading 1-0 and it looks like they may concede, but there's enough experience and know-how, having played in CAF, that they've built that sort of resilience and resolve to be able to see things out. And well done to them. I think it's maybe the first time they were down this season. Maybe I'm not too sure.
Yeah. Second time. Yeah.
So even from conceding first, they still have that ability to remain calm and come back. So credit to them.
Thank you, coach. Thank you, Liam.
Cool.